Final call to submit speaker request forms and provide it to Ms. Ernest at the end of the dais. So our next item is the consent agenda. The consent agenda is for items that are routine in nature and consists of two items tonight. We have item 1C, disposition of absence. Discussion and possible action to approve, excuse the absence of Commissioner Tony Fighter from the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting held on September 5th, 2019. Item 2C is the minutes. Discussion and possible action to approve the minutes of the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting held on September 5th, 2019. Do any commissioners have any questions or comments about the consent agenda items before us tonight? Seeing none. Did you wish to speak, Commissioner Connor? Okay. All right, may I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented. Please vote.
Oh, duh. Sorry.
Consent agenda passes unanimously. Thank you, Commissioners. We're going to move on to our regular agenda now. We're going to start with item 3R, Villages at Pioneer Park. General Plan Amendment GPA 18-07 and Rezone Z18-13. This is a request to amend approximately 30 acres on the general plan from community commercial to medium high-density residential, allowing 8 to 15 dwelling units per acre with a target density of 12 dwelling units per acre, and rezone the property from Olive Crossroads Planned Area Development to Villages at Pioneer Park Planned Area Development Zoning District. That is a mouthful. The site is located at the southwest corner of 83rd Avenue and Olive Avenue. We're going to take action on the general plan amendment and the rezoning request separately, but as I understand, there'll be one staff report on this. So staff, please present your report.
Chair Nelson, Commissioners, good evening. I will be presenting the staff report on item 3R, which entails that minor general plan amendment and the rezoning case. On screen, you'll see the vicinity map, just orienting you to the location of the subject site. It is located at the southwest corner of Olive and 83rd Avenue. The applicant, Mr. Brian Greathouse, on behalf of the property owner, is proposing a 332-unit multifamily project, which would require both the general plan amendment for amending the land use map and also a rezoning to allow for multifamily on site. As you can see, this is basically located in our backyard, just south of our municipal operations and just outside of Old Town, next to our wonderful Pioneer Park. So the applicant's request entails two items. The first being the general plan amendment from community commercial to medium high density residential, which has a dwelling unit per acre range of 8 to 15 and a target density of 12 dwelling units per acre. The second portion would be a rezone request. The property is existing Olive Crossroads Planned Area Development, or PAD, and they are requesting to go to the Villages at Pioneer Park Planned Area Development, so from PAD to PAD. Taking a closer look, you can see the subject site is located at the hard corner of Olive and 83rd Avenue. It shares a property line with the AMF bowling alley to the west, and then both west and southwest of the subject site is Westbrook Estates. Directly south is Pioneer Villages. Across 83rd Avenue is Pioneer Park, the bungalows on Olive, which is a multifamily community and a gas station. Then directly north of Olive is a gas station, a vacant parcel. It is currently under staff review for a multifamily project as well, and then the neighborhood of Cedar Brook. Due to the development pattern within this part of the city, as you can see, the subject site is mostly encompassed by low-density single-family. So the proposal entails a 332-unit, single-story multifamily community. It'll have 3 entrances, one each on Olive, 83rd Avenue, and also 85th Avenue. The proposal meets and proposes to exceed our minimum open space requirements as outlined in the design review manual, which requires 150 square feet per bedroom, which would be just over 87,000 square feet of open space for the project. The PAD itself is putting in a minimum of 90,000 square feet, and then also proposing an additional 200 square feet per unit of private yard space for each unit, which would not be counted towards that total 90,000 that's required in the PAD itself. The design review manual has certain requirements for amenities based on the number of units in a multifamily project. For 260 or more units, 6 amenities are required. Amenities for the community include a clubhouse, gym, dog park, outdoor dining area, several green spaces. The conceptual development plan shows several garden plots throughout the space. Additionally, they're providing a 5-foot decomposed granite pathway that will run along the frontage on 83rd Avenue. On screen is just a detail of some of those amenities that would be throughout the community. We will work out the finer details with the applicant. The site plan is currently under review, but has not been approved yet. So the Villages at Pioneer Park PAD has some additional design guidelines based on an agritopia theme, if you will, that will utilize an agrarian materials palette, which you can see here on screen. So think white picket fences, rustic materials, and color palette. In addition to the amenities that are within the community itself, the applicant is also proposing to construct an enhanced pedestrian connection that's located at 83rd and Olive Avenue. A sidewalk leading into and out of the community will be shaded by a trellis, which you can see behind the wagon wheels on the lower portion of the detail on screen. In addition to enhanced landscaping, seat walls, and these wagon wheel themed elements. So in addition to the pedestrian connection at 83rd, they will also do these wagon wheels, which echo the wagon wheel that's located in Pioneer Park along 83rd Avenue, and then they have an enhanced pedestrian connection at the southern location of the community, which leads into Pioneer Park and the Z crossing that goes across 83rd. Excuse me. From a staff analysis perspective, as you can see, this is mostly surrounded by low-density residential, and it is currently designated as community commercial, which really envisions a more intense commercial than your typical neighborhood commercial. You would think more convenient sort of stuff for neighborhood commercial. The property, they're proposing the property act as a transition zone with these designated low-density residential areas. As you can see on the general plan map on the left-hand side, those 4 corners at Olive and 83rd Avenue either have higher density residential or mixed use community commercial sort of land use designations, which would also allow for residential mixed in with either horizontal or vertical commercial and retail, but still allowing and encouraging that residential interaction. Staff believes this proposal meets or exceeds several of the general plan goals, policies, and objectives. Particularly, there are several objectives sprinkled throughout the general plan that have the aim of providing housing type that meet the different income level and ages of residents throughout Peoria, as well as having a mix of housing types, so not just single family, but also we could consider a workforce or attainable housing. In addition, as Old Town Peoria redevelops, it's likely that this type of housing, given its location, will be more desirable and there will be a greater demand. It's optimally located along 2 main corridors in between Loop 101 and then Grand Avenue. Oops, excuse me. For the rezoning, it's important to put the site in context historically. So in 1981, this area was rezoned from general agriculture to multifamily, office commercial, and planned neighborhood commercial. Then in 1986, it was further modified so that it was multifamily and then intermediate commercial, which is C2. The site has been commercially zoned for over 20 years and hasn't, at least up to this point, been able to attract a commercial tenant to develop. which I think just is important to highlight when you consider the applicant's request to move to a multifamily residential. In 2017, the site was rezoned from straight multifamily, RM1, and the intermediate commercial, which is C2, to the Olive Crossroads PAD that it is currently, with the hope of attracting a major commercial tenant or a Fry's Marketplace, to be particular. The public outreach surrounding that particular case did see some neighborhood opposition. They weren't excited about the idea of the additional trips that would be generated with that commercial use. So staff believes that this proposed multifamily PAD acts as a more appropriate transition with that low-density residential that's surrounding the area, while allowing for appropriate reuse of an infill site. You know, having a higher density multifamily there makes a lot of sense given the infrastructure that's already existing. So the neighborhood meeting for this particular proposal had 2 property owners who attended. That was earlier this year. And at that time, the conceptual development plan did include an underlying portion in that northeast corner having underlying commercial zoning, which has subsequently been changed. Now the proposal only entails all multifamily. The general reception at the neighborhood meeting was positive. Some of the things that were brought up during the meeting asking about improvements along 83rd or 85th Avenue, making sure that the applicant was aware of property owners to the south being concerned to make sure that there would be enough privacy for their backyards. There weren't going to be dumpster pads located in the rear of their yards for noise concerns, but generally positive reception. Notice of application and notice of hearing were mailed on behalf of both applications, in addition to an ad being placed in Peoria Times. And then the site has also been posted with 2 signs as well. For the general plan amendment and the rezoning, the applicant has been in contact with the school district. As far as I'm aware, from the school district, they are working out an agreement, but they have not come to final terms. So the key findings concerning the minor general plan amendment are that it is in conformance with the general plan, and staff does not believe that it should adversely impact the surrounding neighborhoods. As far as the rezoning, the proposed PAD is also in conformance with the general plan. The design standards with the PAD act as a transitional zone, as I stated previously, with that surrounding low-density residential, acting as a buffer with the high-traffic network of Olive and 83rd. In addition, staff has also received a Prop 207 waiver. So tonight, staff is asking for you to take 2 actions. Action 1 is to recommend for approval case GPA 18-07 to City Council, and action 2 is to recommend approval of case D 18-13 to City Council, subject to the attached conditions of approval in Exhibit 1. And with that, I'll take any questions. The applicant is also available.
Thank you, Ms. Beck. Appreciate that report. Do any commissioners have any questions of staff at this time about this project? Oh, Mr. Fighter? Yep, you did.
I just have one question, and maybe this is for Mr. Benton, but is there, I know in a lot of times if you have like variances that there'll be an expiration date on that. Because this is kind of technically a down zone, is there a mechanism that if they don't have, pull building permits by X date, that it would revert back to a commercial type zoning? Is there a mechanism that we have for that, or is that strictly designated for, variances?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Fighter, City of Peoria doesn't currently have any mechanism. I think we were talking about as a reversion clause. So in the event that this zoning was approved, it would run with the land, but it would not return back for reconsideration at some time period. We don't currently have that in place.
Commissioner Condi?
Is this development like the one across the street, the bungalow kind of thing? Is that similar to that?
So they are both multifamily, and they both are going to be the bungalows is single-story. This one is also proposing to be single-story. That was one of the items that they tried to highlight at the neighborhood meeting, is that rather than being a 3-story apartment building, which could have been allowed previously, they are sticking with a more single-family feel, which is part of the reason why they're also offering that 200-square-foot private backyard.
Okay, probably the developer's going to talk about that, I imagine.
I believe they have some elevations to show.
Schematics and things. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Commission? Ms. Beck, I have a question. So I'm concerned about something you said tonight, was the fact that we don't have an agreement with the school district. Right now, the school district is meeting with parents about an override election that they're hoping to get support for. They're having growth challenges, they're having budget challenges, and here we're coming at them with a high-density project without an agreement. That's a little concerning to me. Has the school district been in contact with the city to communicate whether they feel reliably comfortable with it, they're just dotting the i's and crossing the t's, or do we think there could be some issues?
Mr.
With
Chair,
school
members of the
district
commission, yeah, we're constantly in conversation with the district. In fact, they get all of our development proposals that come in. We provide that information regarding discussions between the applicant and the district as information. What I can tell you is that we can't connect a outcome of a rezoning case to whether the applicants decide or not decide to sign a voluntary assistance agreement. Those are private agreements that they have to be separate from our consideration of the zoning case.
Okay.
Chair Nelson, just to add to that, I did reach out to the long-range planner with the school district earlier this week just to see where things were, and he noted that they are still working out the details, and I can let the applicant speak a little bit more to the details between the two of them, but he didn't raise any concerns.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. Thank you. All right, I didn't see no further questions. I'm going to open the public hearing on this. I believe the applicant's present. Did you wish to speak? Yes, please. Perfect. Would you please state your name and address for the record?
Thank you, Lori. For the record, my name is Brian Greathouse. My address is 702 East Osborne Road. I'm with the law firm Birch and Cracchiolo. Amanda, would you mind hitting Control L on there to bring it full screen? Oh, you got it. Thank you. Perfect. I'm here tonight representing Empire Residential. With me tonight is Shelby Duplessis, who's the Vice President of Land Development with Empire, and we've been both working on this case closely with Councilmember Hunt's office, planning staff, and traffic staff, and even the Deputy City Manager. There's been a lot of involvement on this case, and it's really all about bringing this agrarian-themed community to this corner that's across the street from Pioneer Park. And we've been trying to create a pedestrian-rich environment with amenities, connections to the park, and really theming that looks a lot like an Agritopia development out in Gilbert. That's won awards for its family atmosphere and connections around the community. So I'd like to begin by saying that we agree with all of staff's findings. We believe that we are in conformance with the goals and objectives and policies of the general plan. We believe that we're bringing more rooftops to support commercial in the area, not only at 91st Avenue and Olive, where there's an existing Fry's, but also to Old Town. As everyone knows, the city's incentivizing and encouraging development in that area. So we believe we're going to be good for the community. We're okay with staff stipulations in your staff report, 1 through 5, and we're happy to come before you with no opposition. As you heard before in this case, in about 4 years ago, there was quite a bit of opposition for the existing zoning on the property. We appreciate staff's recommendation of approval, and our goal tonight is to achieve your recommendation of approval as well. As you look around the site, you can see that it's an irregular shaped parcel, so it's a challenging development to bring forth. And it's vacant, it's really underutilized because there's some development around here, and it's right across the street from a great city park. That's Pioneer Park. There's single-family homes to the south and the west, so we really wanted to be sensitive to building heights, which is why we brought forth a single-story product rather than a traditional apartment that was taller and might block views and cause privacy concerns. You can see we share the intersection with 2 gas stations, a Shamrock and a Circle K, and then up here is an evergreen development with traditional multifamily apartments, and it's a horizontally mixed-use development with commercial planned along all of here. And so on this exhibit, you can see pink, which is C2 zoned properties, and then this is PAD, where the future commercial is coming on the north side of Olive Avenue. And so we wanted to create a good transitional multifamily piece, not only in land use intensity and density, but also in building height, and we think we've done that. So we have multifamily proposed here. The goldenrod color down here is obviously single family, and then we're also providing some walkability over to the park to the east. So Empire's had this site. They bought it about 4 years ago. And their first idea on this site was to do mostly single-family homes with some commercial out parcels, if you will. They marketed the property with a brokerage company called Nathan and Associates for about a year, and Nathan and Associates is the biggest land broker, most successful land broker around town. They were very unsuccessful with no bites. And then Barclay Development came in and had Fry's in tow to build a 107,000 square foot superstore. And Fry's was going to relocate from 91st and all of here it's about a little over a half mile from edge to edge on the sites, and then totals, you know, from the outside edge, it's about a mile between this 83rd and 91st Avenue. And so they had Fry's in tow. They didn't have any other users on the site, but Fry's was definitely in on the site. They went through the rezoning process, got the rezoning approved, and then Fry's pulled out of the deal. They didn't want to relocate their store anymore. So Empire was back to the drawing board, and they started looking at about 5 acres or so of commercial again, and they marketed the site with a different broker this time, who was Empire Commercial Real Estate, not related to Empire Group, a different brokerage company. And they were unsuccessful again. They had zero interest. They went to companies like Francis & Sons, Cobblestone, Quick Trip, Aldi, Superstore, Marathon, Fry's Fuel, Tire Works, Quick Quack Car Wash, Jackson's, Costa Vida, Burger King, Popeyes, Winco. That's just to name a few that they went out to. And so they would like to have commercial here. Commercial dirt sells for a heck of a lot more than multifamily dirt. So from an economic perspective, if they could sell it as a commercial site, they would, but they cannot. And if you look at how it's positioned from the 101, and it's also positioned away from Grand Avenue and Old Town, it's not very visible. It's not a great commercial site. And so the better commercial sites are here on Olive and 101, where you have 4 corners of commercial, or in Old Town, where the city's incentivizing development and encouraging development. And as you drill into these sites, you see a sea of asphalt parking. Here's the Fry's. You have inline retail and a couple fast food restaurants. And my opinion is that you don't want this across the street from Pioneer Park anyway, because it's not very walkable. It's not very pedestrian friendly. It's just a bunch of asphalt. And similarly, up at Old Town, there's opportunities for redevelopment that should be developed first before this corner. And once again, you have an asphalt parking lot that's not very friendly for pedestrians to walk around. So what we tried to do with our design, and I believe Empire's design group did a great job with this, was really focus on walkability, focus on greenscape, focus on amenities for the residents, and focus on open space. And as you heard Amanda say, we're exceeding the multifamily open space requirements just with our common area open spaces. If you add in the private backyards, we're almost doubling what's required under the multifamily zoning district. This community, people like it because it's low maintenance. It's a lifestyle choice. Typically, we see young families or young couples or singles or empty nesters or retirees love this community with amenities, and they can lock and leave and travel around town. And the good thing about the demographics that rent in these communities is that they have disposable income. And the idea is to get that disposable income out in the community and spending it in places like Old Town. And the great thing about this, once again, is it's across the street from the Pioneer Park. As we look at these elevations, you can see there's horizontal and vertical articulation in the roof lines. There's board and batten features on the hip roofs. There's window shutters. There's a variety of different materials like stucco and brick and veneers. The last plan I showed you was a 3-bedroom. This is a 2-bedroom unit. Once again, nice architecture. And one of the things we were pressed on with staff is to really break up that roof line. One of the criticisms we hear about bungalows is that there's a pretty monotonous roof line across the top, and the coloring is very similar, and there's not a whole lot of diversity and variety. So that's what staff really challenged us on doing, and we think we brought forth that design, all within an agrarian theme that we were also challenged on by the council member to bring forward. And then the last elevation here of the units is are the 1-bedroom units. They're 2 units under 1 roof. This elevation is the community center that'll have a fitness center, and it'll be a clubhouse for the pool. This is a different view of it. This is the leasing office that'll be up near Olive Avenue. It'll include leasing, obviously, and then mailboxes for the residents to use. We'll have a variety of different options to rent garage spaces and storage spaces that really provide convenience and functionality for folks that are living in a rental unit. This development is amenity rich, as you heard. What I really like about it is that there are community gardens, and there's individual garden plots that residents can rent and plant their own and maintain by themselves. There's a resort-style pool. There's 2 ramadas here that you see. There's a variety of different open spaces throughout the community so that you have a open space near your individual unit, and you don't have to walk too far to enjoy the amenities. Let me go back one. And this is the exterior of the community. We've adopted these white picket fencing to really bring in what Agritopia was successful with out in Gilbert. We have a lush landscaping palette. We have a privacy wall that's articulated horizontally and staggered along the outside edges of the community. We're using a variety of different textures and materials and colors to break up that wall so it's not monotonous. This is a corner feature that staff and us have been working on very closely as well. You heard Amanda talk about the trellis. That trellis is here. There's a pedestrian gate for the residents to use where the mouse is going across here. There's a DG trail that runs south along 83rd Avenue. There's shading and seating opportunities through here. And obviously we have a sidewalk that's walkable around the edge. There's a bus stop just south of here, right about where this arrow says existing bus bay. So this will give some more shade and more trees and more of a pedestrian environment near that existing bus bay. On this slide on the top is a cross-section of 83rd Avenue. We're providing that DG trail. You can see a lady here jogging. DG trails are nicer on your knees. And then we have the sidewalk out here. And then along 83rd Avenue, we also have a variety of monuments. And these monuments will connect the park theme, the Pioneer theme, up north along 83rd Avenue and eventually tying into the corner feature theme that also has the wagon wheels. And so this will kind of start this connection from Pioneer Park down south up north to Olive with our development. And hopefully, one day it would be awesome if that could go all the way up to Old Town, so we continue this character and theme into Old Town that has a lot of these same pioneer heritage history that goes along with it. There's a lot of pedestrian circulation around the site. Amanda mentioned a pedestrian circulation on the southeast portion of the property that's here. This will be a tree-lined connection point. There's a connection point at the vehicular access here. There's another connection point up at the corner treatment, so that's 3 connections along 83rd Avenue. We have a pedestrian connection point on Olive Avenue, and we have another one on 85th Avenue. So we tried to do a good job of letting our residents walk around the community and enjoy not only the amenities within the community, but also the amenities that the city has outside the community. Once again, we're happy to come to you with no neighborhood opposition. On the prior case, the south edge of the site was zoned for multifamily, and it was RM1 that allowed up to 3 stories of a traditional apartment. And from what we heard through neighbors, through the neighborhood outreach process on this case, was that they don't like the fries, they don't want to look at the back of a grocery store. But at the time the original zoning case was coming through, that was better than looking at a 3-story apartment building with windows looking down on their backyards. And so they were really applauding us for coming in with a single-story product that's themed to connect with the Pioneer Park, and we're bringing much less traffic because our uses generate much less traffic. And they're happy that we're developing Half Street on 85th Avenue as well. One lady who showed up at the neighborhood meeting really wanted streetlights along there because she walks through there, and when cars come through, they can't see her. And so in conclusion, Empire is making a significant investment on this vacant, underutilized infill site. Multifamily is a great transitional land use. We've applied appropriate buffers, landscaping, and amenities on the site. We have appropriate streetscape enhancements that's going to improve the walkability around the area. And we have a very nice corner treatment that really connects that pioneer heritage in this area. With that, we request your recommendation of approval, and we would be happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you, Mr. Greathouse. Do any commissioners have any questions of the applicant? Oh, Commissioner Feder?
Thank you, Mr. Greathouse. A couple quick questions for you. The developer, is their plan to develop this, or are they going to rezone and get the general plan amendment and then sell it, or are they planning to develop it?
Commissioner Fider, yes, Empire plans on building, owning, and operating the site.
So they're going to build for long-term?
Yes.
Okay. I know there's been some questions in regards to parking at the competitive project across the street. Have you guys looked at that at all and some of the challenges they have from a parking standpoint at the bungalows?
We're not aware of those parking problems at the bungalows, so I don't
Can't
know how
attest to it.
how to address
Okay,
those.
but there's-
We're-
The question is because it is an enclosed community, and is there ample visitor parking? You guys have addressed that?
We're meeting the multifamily zoning ordinance parking requirements of, I think it's 1.5 parking spaces for the
Per
one
unit?
bedroom, and then 2 spaces for our 2 and 3 bedrooms. And then we have additional guest parking at,
1 space per 10 units, I think, right?
what's that?
1 space per 10 units.
There you go. So our guest
Visitor
parking
space,
is
1
1
space
per
per
10.
10,
So,
okay.
so most of the units are 2 bedrooms. So most of the units have 2 parking spaces on their own, and then 1 out of every 10 will have an additional guest parking spaces.
Got it, okay.
Any questions?
Nothing further.
Okay, perfect. Commissioner Otluski?
Yeah, well, I'm glad that, to hear that Empire is going to move forward with this, and I think it's a well-thought-out project. I like the idea of matching Pioneer Park with this community versus just putting up walls and houses. So I just want to applaud Empire for doing a great job at bringing conceptually a very nice plan for us.
Thank you.
Any other commissioner questions?
Yes, I'd like to echo the same thought. That parcel has been vacant forever, 30 years, and it's a really lousy location for a grocery store for all the reasons you mentioned. It's too far away from it's not a easy destination on and off. It's really best to be into residential where they can take advantage of the park and have, we are always looking for additional housing. This isn't really low-income housing, but it is really nice housing that's an alternative to multi-story apartment buildings. And I think it's a very good plan conceptually and will fit right in, just for all the reasons that you mentioned.
Thank you.
We've got more land if you want to do it again.
Shelby, you want to buy some more land?
Any of the commissioners have any questions? Just, again, applaud your outreach to the community. That's important to this commission. I don't want to speak for the rest of them, but it is to me. Getting them on board, I think respecting their wishes. Obviously, commercial was not popular with them. I don't like seeing commercial land being taken away from the city because it generates income for the city. But in this case, I certainly understand the comments around it was hard to develop. If it was a good location for commercial, we would have commercial there most likely. So appreciate that. I think it's a high-quality project for sure. I'm hoping you can address the concern I brought up earlier. As I mentioned, the Peoria Unified School District is actually meeting tonight with parents from throughout the district about their upcoming override election. They're having growth challenges. They got budget challenges. This is a high-density development for all intents and purposes, medium-high density. It's going to generate some children for schools, obviously, and it sounds like you're still working with the school district to come to some sort of agreement. Can you tell me a little more about where we're at on that to lay that concern of mine?
Shelby, do you want an update on that? I defer to Shelby on that.
Thank you. If you could state your name and address for the record, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, good evening, Commissioners. My name is Shelby Duplessis with Empire Group of Companies, and we are located in Scottsdale, 6617 North Scottsdale Road. Thank you again for having us, and we've enjoyed our time working, obviously, with the city staff and the neighbors. I've been working on this project since before it was commercial to all the way through that commercial case to now this case. So we appreciate you hearing from us tonight. We've been working very closely with the school. We have the adequate facilities agreement with them, and we will enter into a development agreement as soon as it's rezoned. We had wanted to do that before tonight and before council. It made sense to us. They can't enter into an agreement with us when it's currently zoned commercial because there's no student demand for commercial. As soon as the zoning is in place for multifamily or any type of residential, then they'll be ready. So we have an agreement ready that we can then execute with them. And then we'll be making our donation.
Great, great. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Any further questions? All right, Ms. Ernest, have you received any speaker request forms on this item? Okay. I'm going to close the public hearing. As I mentioned earlier, we'll be taking action on the general plan amendment and the rezoning request separately. So let's start with action item 1. Are there any further questions or comments from the commissioners on the general plan amendment specifically before I request a motion on case GPA 18-07? All right, seeing none, may I have a motion?
Okay.
Commissioner Condi.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we send for approval case GPA 18-07 to the city council, which is a minor general plan amendment. Do you need any more? Moving
No.
it from commercial to PAD?
I think it is sufficient, but I'm looking to staff and
I think the motion was sufficient.
it's fine, it's adequate, okay.
Okay.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do we have a second to that motion?
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to recommend approval of case GPA 18-07 to city council. Commissioners, please vote. And it passes unanimously. Thank you. Next is the rezoning request for this property. Any further questions or comments from commissioners before we take action on case Z18-13? All right. May I have a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we move forward for approval, case Z18-13, to the city council, subject to the attached conditions in Exhibit 1.
Thank you, Commissioner Aluska. Do we have a second? Second. Thank you, Commissioner Condi. We have a motion and a second to recommend approval of case Z18-13 to City Council. Commissioners, please cast your vote. And it passes unanimously. Thank you, Commissioners. All right, we're going to move on to item 1R next. Administrative Relief, Text Amendment TA19-02. This is a request to consider a city-initiated text amendment to Section 21-102, conflicting regulations, and Section 21-324, known as Administrative Relief of the zoning ordinance. I believe staff is recommending we continue case TA19-02 to the October 5th, 2019 meeting. Is that correct? I'm sorry, October 3rd, 2019 meeting. Is that correct?
Correct. Chairman Nelson, I am requesting that we continue case TA 19-02 to the October 3rd meeting.
Thank you. All right, may I have a motion to continue this item?
Mr. Chair, I move that we continue case TA 19-02 to 10/3/19 Planning and Zoning Commission hearing.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to continue case TA 19-02 to the October 3rd, 2019 Planning and Zoning Commission. Please vote on the motion to continue. And the continuation is approved. Thank you, Commissioners. Next agenda item is called the public. Are there any comments from the public on non-agenda items? Seeing barely any public, I'll assume not. All right, we're going to move on to our next agenda item then, updates from staff. Does staff have anything to report?
Mr. Chairman, I thought I wasn't going to be speaking tonight, but apparently I am. So,
Congratulations.
members of the commission, I would like to invite you to our next meeting. That would be October 3rd. Please do not arrive at council chambers. I would like to invite you to our next meeting, which is going to be the remote meeting for the general plan amendment. You are going to be at Rio Vista Recreation Center in Lakeview East Room. We will send out a reminder closer to time, followed by the October 17th meeting. That will be same bat time, same bat channel, regular back in here. And then we have November 7th coming up relatively soon. And thank you. That's all the reports from staff.
Great, thank you for your report. Reports and updates from the Planning and Zoning Commission. Do any commissioners have anything to report? All right, seeing no further business, I call this meeting adjourned.